Kerbal News, year 21, day 327, 43 minutes. The Kerbals clean up their act. The new rocket with the asteroid grabber larches from the launch pad with a full complement of crew. Looks like we found a separator ring. It's time to push it back into the atmosphere. Like a pebble on the lake, the separator ring floats through the atmosphere, skipping and bouncing. Next we come across a big piece of debris. It's the Mimbus lifter section. Being conscientious, the lifter section of this rocket is the first to enter the atmosphere. Followed next by the very big and bulky Mimbus lifter section. Last but not least, we recover a relic, Sarah's pod from 20 years ago. The Kerbals recover Sarah's pod, leaving it on the grabber as they sink into the atmosphere. Touchdown success, and Sarah's capsule is brought back after many years. Now it's time for sightseeing. Where will the tourists go? Stay tuned to find out.
Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Saka here, and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program. And we last left off in the last episode, we did some cleanup in low Kerbin orbit, getting some of the junk around Kerbin deleted, and now we have picked up something pretty cool. Ferry VIP to the destination. So we've actually got two VIPs. We have a VIP that wants to go around Mimbus and fly by Mimbus, so we can do that. It's a pretty good reputation, 37, and he'll pay us 16, and 97, so that's money. And we also have another VIP that wants to fly by the moon and orbit the moon for 13, 78, and even more reputation there. So all we got to do is retrofit one of our launchers that have 3 seats, put Jebediah, probably Valentina, to give her some more skill, put the 2 VIPs in the capsule and bring them back. So looking forward to that. So I'll see if we have a rocket that can fill that purpose and be right back. Alright, I looked through my archive and found our old Mimbus lander section that had the rover and the lander in the center. I just got rid of those and put our 2 tourists in the pod with Valentina. So we have Dottie the tourist and Dudmal the tourist. It's a $62,000 rocket, and we can bring back some of those parts, probably this whole section, I would say, as well as, the money that the tourists are going to be paying us to go. So that should be fairly good. If I show all the, it's a 1.5 thrust to weight. Yeah, we've got good positive thrust to weight everywhere. In fact, this rocket was a whole lot heavier before, and it lifted off just fine, so no reason to think it wouldn't do so now. Staging should be good. We've got... Oh, we actually don't need that separator there, it doesn't seem. Okay, let's put that there, and then we don't need that there. What is this? Is that the... Oh, I see. So that can go there, and that can go there. Oh, okay, a docking port. I see what's going on here. Yeah, we don't need that docking port. We can just go straight in, like so. Save some weight, be nice and stable. Should be fine. I'll see you on the launch pad. All right, 1,800 meters a second. It's just a quick trip around the block. Let's go 3/4 throttle-ish. Something like that. We got 1.5 thrust to weight to get us off the pad. So 3, 2, 1, skadoosh. Nice and easy, real respectable like. Good positive rate, no need to really burn like crazy until we're out of the soup. And then once we're out of the soup and we get this mail a-going, it should be fine. Now I'm thinking this will be a very stable rocket. It's nice and compact. The engines provide some gimbling, and with Valentina on board holding the attitude steady, I think we are in for a smooth ride. At least that is my hope and goal. Well, let's throttle up just a little bit until we start to see the wind effects. If we see any wind effects at all, we might not. And it looks like all of this comes apart in one. I didn't asparagus stage them out. So yeah, those 3 should all drop apart together. All right, let's really pick up speed and get to the 45. There we go. So we'll throttle down until we get through this stuff. Continue to pick up speed, and then once we break through, we'll be in like a dirty shirt. Awesome. So maximum speed. We should be fine. That should break through. We should have more than enough fuel. I'm looking to bring back a lot of stuff as far as this rocket is concerned. So yeah, at the 45, it's 17K. Actually starting to get some heating. Let's slow that right down. Actually, we probably need to pick up speed before the separation here. I should have put on some Separatrons, but there we go. Clean separation, and I'll see you in orbit. Welcome to orbit, Dudmal. Dudmal looks pretty excited. This is the view from Valentina's window, and over to the right we have Dottie, and we have more than enough fuel to get going. It looks like the Kerbals are very excited, as am I. This is our first tourist mission, and we want to prove that we can do it. So we've got 1,200 meters a second to get out to the moon and circularize, and another 2,000 to get out to Mimas and back. I'm not worried about fuel at all. It's really cool to just sit back and have a nice, easy mission for once. So I'll go ahead and plot our approach to the moon and be with you when we burn. All right, here we come, T-minus 20, and I hope to see the moon over the horizon here in a bit. It's an 800 meter a second burn. It'll use most of our fuel, but we're not going for a very aggressive nearby orbit of the moon. I think they just wanted an orbit around the moon, and we can definitely do that, and it shouldn't take as much fuel to slow down around a higher orbit than a lower one. I mean, it would be cool for pictures if they went ahead and orbited nearby, but that's neither here nor there. We probably had enough fuel to do that. But most important thing right now is getting the maneuver all set so we can cruise out to the moon and see exactly what we want to do. So 0.2 meters a second off. And looking at our map, indeed, we've got a 928,000 meter periapse. So, yep, we are on track for the moon. So I will see you when we get to close approach. All right, there's the moon, and Dottie is about to get really excited. We are just a few seconds away from crossing the sphere of influence into the moon, and that should be the first part of her mission done. Yes, indeed, contract parameter complete, fly by the moon, $13,000. So Dottie is extremely happy, and so's Valentina as far as that's concerned. Now all that's left is to establish an orbit, and you know how that goes. So we will go ahead and slow down, and I will see you for the burn. All right, 7 seconds is all we need to get that orbit. We should be able to flip that camera here in a second. Booyah! 0.5 meters a second, contract parameter complete. We have an orbit around the moon, and now Dottie is fulfilled. We need to get her back home, but just look at her. How excited is that? Awesome. Let's actually take a look at her here. Hey, Dottie, we're around the moon. How does that make you feel? Oh, now she's camera shy. It's okay, Dottie. I mean, for posterity's sake, we could get a little bit closer, but you know, there's really no need aside from like a role play perspective. But now it's time to break orbit around the moon and get to Minmus. So I'll go ahead and plot that out and see you for our ejection burn. Just 27 meters a second, 1 second of burn, and now we should be exiting the moon's sphere of influence. Indeed we are. So then once we get out on our orbit, we will plot our target of Minmus, see exactly our inclination here, 7 degrees. So unless we can hit it right on one of these ascending or descending nodes, we'll be spending some fuel to correct our inclination. So I will see you for that particular burn. All right, 5 seconds is all we need to boost 150 meters a second to adjust our inclination, those 7 degrees, and skadoosh. 1.2 meters a second. How close is that for government work? Descending node is 0. Outstanding. So now we just need to get an encounter with Minmus. It's right over here. So we're probably going to catch it based on our based on our eccentric orbit, we would have to cancel out a lot of speed. We're not circular, so we don't have the benefit of just launching whenever we see it. Although we do have the excess fuel to brute force it, that is for sure. So I'm going to get an encounter with Mimus and be with you for that burn. Alright, so we've only got 68 meters a second left in this big honkin' tank. Nothing we can do about that debris. And then we'll be using this this engine right here to push us the rest of the way. It looks stable enough to land with, and I think we are going to go ahead and land on Mimus, see if we can land in a place we haven't been before, and get a soil sample, and at least make this trip scientifically worth it. Alright, here we go. Get ready to detach. Skadoosh. And away we go. All right, 5 meters a second. Let's go. See, 0.5, is that good enough? Do we have our Mimus encounter? Yes, we do, at 1 million meters. But we are going to come around, encounter Mimus, and we'll get the orbit, which will make our other passenger, Dudmal, extremely happy, and then we will go ahead and land, which they didn't expect. Valentina will plant a flag and get some science. All right, Mimus is right there in the darkness. We are about to get the flip, and Dudmal is about to get extremely happy here in just a moment. Come on, Dudmal. Boom! There we go. Contract parameter complete. Dudmal pays us 16,250 buccarinos. Alright, so let's go ahead and get that retrograde burn on the periaps here. I'll see you for circularization. So excellent news, Valentina did indeed level up. Look at all those brand new nodes she can do. And only a 3-second burn. Boom! So there is the second contract complete. Dudmal has paid us another 16 grand for his orbit around Mimus. And one cool thing is we are pretty low when it comes to Mimus orbit. We're at 25,000. So as we come around, we're going to start hitting the brakes and see if we can actually make a landing here. We'll add a maneuver, drop our orbit, and see if we can land here on the daylight side. I mean, it's going to take some fuel, but we have way more than we need for sure. So let's go ahead and warp to that maneuver, and I will see you for the descent. All right, excellent news. We killed off all of our orbital speed, and now we are coming back down. Pretty soon we should get our surface mode so we can cancel any rotation that we need. And yeah, this is just going to be a really simple drop. We don't have a flag around here in these lowlands, so it does look like an interesting place to land. And it's going to be fairly simple with this big ol' honkin' engine, I assume. You don't want to take it, you know, too not serious, but there we go, there's surface mode. Luckily, the orbital speed of Mimus isn't as such where the surface indication and the orbital indication are different. Yeah, we've got 1,500 meters of fuel to spare. I think we can land right there on that big bell. Not too concerned about that, and yeah, should be able to get some excursion done. So I will see you for the landing. All right, I basically burned on the 90 just a bit to float away from this hilly section, and yeah, this looks good enough. Let's go ahead and kill that speed, get retrograde, and continue falling to the planet's surface, or the moon's surface as it were. Yeah, I'll see you when we touch down. All right, we have a shadow, 14 meters a second and slowing. And we should touch down here momentarily, just barely cracking the throttle. 1 meter a second. Boop. All right, SAS off. We should be nice and stable. Nice, and we are indeed. All right, let's get the Kerbals out. First up, Valentina will go on EVA. Go ahead and take an EVA report, see if we've been here before. This is the greater flat, so we shall indeed keep that experiment and store that experiment. We'll go ahead and hop down, plant the flag. Nice. All right, take the surface sample. Nice, 300 science. We'll go ahead and keep that. Plant the flag here at the greater flats. Way to go, Valentina. That's what I like to see. Oops, it would help if we actually had a text box to type in. Greater flats it is, and that took place. Oh, Valentina with a little hop there, sure. 8:15:19 at 17:11. Nice, so Valentina is good to go with that. Do we get Dottie out? Oh, tourists may not disembark. So they get to look out their window, though. It's not a very good view. Yeah, if I was a tourist, I would be sort of climbing up, looking at things. But Valentina, nope, that's the flag. I kind of want to store those experiments and then fly over here to the hills that we landed by and see if that is a whole new biome. I don't think we can pick up any rock, because that's for the rover to do. There you go, Valentina. Just sort of orientate yourself. Nice. Go ahead and store those experiments, please. Free science. And, yeah, I'll go ahead and head toward those hills. Let's see what biome that is. All right, Valentina has touched down, and these are indeed the lowlands. So we'll go ahead and take the surface sample, another 300 science. We can't plant the flag. We didn't get back in the lander. But we know we've got the lowland stuff, and I'm not sure about coming back to Memphis too awful often. But it's nice to get, 600 to 1,000 more science just from a tourist mission. So I'll go ahead and hop back aboard and get these tourists back airborne. All right, Valentina is aboard. Everything is awesome. Let's go ahead and pitch to the 90. Take off in 3, 2, 1. Little bit of throttle. Over to the 90. Let's get up at the 45-degree angle. And there you go. Go pro grade. And I don't think we need to really gas this thing up. If we wanted to puddle hop, we could. But let's just get above 10K. Let's just do 15 for good measure. And then we should be all set for return. So I'll go ahead and circularize, or shoot, what is the orientation of our orbit? Okay, yeah, so we missed the ideal time to burn. We want to circularize and burn here so we can get back to Kerbin. So I'll go ahead and circularize and be right back. All right, quick little burn. We are now at 15 by 21, and since Memphis is flying this way, we want to eject ourselves till we slow down relative to Kerbin. Let's go ahead and add our maneuver there and see how much it will take for us to finally leave the sphere of influence of Memphis. Just like so, 62 meters a second, and we'll be coming in. We might as well just keep on going, you know. We'll adjust our ejection time here with more speed. Another encounter with the moon. We definitely don't want that. All right, so that's pretty straight on with 191,000 periaps. That works for me. All right. So all that's left is to leave Memphis' sphere of influence. So I will see you when we burn. All right, just 2 seconds is all we need, so we'll burn at T-1. And there we go, leaving Memphis with 818 meters a second left. Should put us on a nice trajectory to get back to Kerbin indeed. And I kind of want to land at the Space Center. So I'm going to do, we're kind of coming across. Yeah, while we're here, and we're nice and slow, what I think I'll do is I will adjust my inclination just a bit. Yeah, it kind of sucks that we're not at our apoaps, but I think we can adjust our inclination from over here. We're not moving too awful fast, 222 meters a second. It's not like we're trying to change it down there at the Perry. But we just want a little bit of mellow out. Yeah, and it doesn't look like it's going to take much to get us on an even keel. I mean, as even as we can be, and then we'll probably about halfway have to adjust our inclination again. But as long as we come over the equator on this backside is all that matters. So yeah, 4.5 meters a second. We can actually do that right now. And yes, we can go anti-normal. Actually use our maneuver node for our advantage here. All right, 0.2 meters a second. We should be fairly flat when we come over the top. So let's see when the Kerbal Space Center starts to appear in view. I'll be right back. All right, coming over the top, KSC is right there. I think now is the time to go radial in. Lower this bad boy down to maybe 12-ish? Because that way we hit the atmosphere and really start slowing down. At least that's my hope and goal. All right, let's tuck in our solar panels so they don't go flying off. I'm going to try to land this whole thing in one fell swoop, but we will indeed see. All right, SAS off. Go ahead and warp here. And there is Kerbin. So hopefully we'll be coming over the top. And yes, indeed, there is the continent that the KSC is on. Yeah, we're gonna need to like slow down right now. Retrograde, burn it, everything. All right, so that is it. We're at the mercy of Sir Isaac Newton, and it looks like we're going to be just low, but not too far away from the KSC. But we'll see how this atmosphere interacts, so I will be with you for splashdown. All right, starting to get into the thick of it. Down to 900, 800 meters a second, getting into the really thick stuff, 7,000 meters above sea level, and there is the Kerbal Space Center right there. It looks like we may have to ditch the craft, or at least the lower section. I'm holding out hope. We still have a few thousand meters before that thing has to pop. Yeah, we have to let her go. Pop the parachutes, they should open nice and big. And we didn't even need the heat shield. So yeah, we couldn't save the entire craft, but we did save the Kerbals. So KSC isn't too far away. We'll see what we get back. All right, splashdown imminent. Here comes Valentina with Dottie and Dudmal, and we managed to save the heat shield. Awesome, let's go ahead and recover that vessel. We should get at least 95% return on that capsule and heat shield and all that other stuff. All right, so there we go, 692 science earned just from hopping Minmus. That is pretty cool. 5,666 back, 95% of the value. We're up to 1.88 million. And Dottie is ready for assignment, and so is Dudmal, advanced to level 2 tourist. Are they in our astronaut complex? Dudmal and Dottie, nope, looks like they have gone about their merry way, and the job is a good one. Let's go ahead and look at our contract. So the tour is a success. Dudmaw had nothing but great things to say about the trip and brought back plenty of photos. Those itineraries were complete and tour was a success as well. So that will do it for me in this episode of Kerbal Space Program, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure what we're going to do for the next episode, but we do have science to spend. I don't know if we're in a window for Eve. We might be able to launch a satellite out to a distant body that we have not been. It just depends on what we have going on here. These are 300, so we can get 2 of these, or 1 of those. High performance fuel systems, massive fuel tanks, big boosters, decouplers. That seems like the way to go if we want to start going out to the wild blue yonder. We'll go ahead and take that. Can't afford that stuff, but that's fine. Yeah, it might be worth it to send a satellite out to the far reaches, maybe Eve or something like that, to beam some data back. I don't know if we can send our Duna rocket out to Eve. Not land, of course. There'd be no way we could get off, but if it is the same distance as, you know, from Duna to Kerbin as it is from Eve to Kerbin at its closest approach, we might be able to do something. All right, so there is... It may actually be a little bit closer. So if we can get a window to where... And we're pretty close. That may be the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hurrying up and building a satellite rocket that we use to send to Duna. We'll go ahead and send it to Eve and see if we can get some good science from that. But that will do it for me in this episode of Kerbal Space Program. Ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe if you are so bold. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you for the next Kerbal Space Program video. Take care.